Alright, I'm back with another game, 10-minute game. Let's rip it. Let's see what we can do. Okay, I played this guy earlier and I lost to him, but I've beaten him before, so let's run it back. I ran out of time in the game earlier with him and started blundering. Let's play not the Nimzo Indian. B6, Queen's Indian, alright. D5. What do I do here? What do I want to do here? I'm gonna go A3. Confuse him. Alright, I'm probably gonna castle. Or do I take on D5? Or do I play knight C3? Let's go ahead and just play knight C3. If he takes on C4, oh well. Oh well. I guess I'll just go down a pawn if he does that. Not really, though. I mean, sort of, but not really. Castle. Castle. So, now what? CD5. Rook E1. I don't really like how he's going to go knight to E4. What happens if bishop G5? What if knight E5? What if knight H4? What if knight G5? Knight G5, the best move. If he goes H6, I'll just go knight H3, knight F4, but this is my brilliant idea to pin him along the long diagonal here. Maybe look to play E4 right away. Also stopping knight E4. So that was my idea. Okay, C5. Now what? What to do? CD5. CD5. Knight takes D5. Now what? H4, E3, CD5, whatever. Knight takes to hit my knight, sure. So if I take on D5, what happens there? Take on D5. I'm gonna do it. My big plan is after this, I'm going to take here, and then after queen takes G5, I think I'm going to play knight here and take this bishop. Or is knight here better? No, because then he takes here. I think knight E7 is the way to go. And then bishop takes B7. Like this. Yeah, I think this is the way to go. So I'm not up any material or anything, but I think I'm doing pretty well here. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm gonna drop the bishop back. How far? How far to drop the bishop back? F3 or G2? I kind of like putting it on F3. That way I can put my king on g2 maybe. Okay, so here, what am I gonna do? Take. I might take. If pawn takes, I'm not so worried, but I'm gonna play rook c1 while I can. Okay. So he's being a little bit active, but I'm not really all that concerned about his play here. Rook d8, or rook c8, I can just take it. So I think I'm doing pretty well here. My bishop is slightly better than his knight, since bishops are generally better when there are pawns on both sides of the board. So I'm doing slightly better. I've got slightly better open file control here. But I'm not opening material, and all the pawns are facing each other, which makes it a little bit difficult to try and prove an advantage. So now what? I don't even know what to do here. I'm waiting to see if he goes rook to c8, because I want to see that. I wouldn't mind getting the 2 rooks for the queen, but I also, yeah, I can just slowly improve my position here, I think. Maybe queen c3 is like favorable for me. Maybe not though. Take, and then he's gonna bring his rook to d8. So what? Maybe I go rook to d1. Queen b3, queen a4 maybe at some point. Yeah, you know, I thought he might do this, but I don't think I want to take on c8 because I'm going to lose b2 at the end of it from his queen. But what do I want to do here? Queen to b3 or queen to a4? That is the question. Queen a4 is certainly more active. Queen a4, queen takes b2, rook takes c8. Don't know. Don't know about that. What are my other options here? I certainly need to play faster though, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this. And if he takes here, I take back. And then if queen takes b2, I could play queen takes a7. Okay, so here maybe b4 here. This might be a bad move. We'll see. So I'm taking with the pawn, or do I take with the? Yeah, I'll just do this. Seems pretty okay. Got a pretty good rook, pretty good queen. If knight d5, am I gonna take it? That is the question. Probably not. Probably not gonna take it. Knight d5, I might go queen a1. Nah. Queen a1. If I go b3 or b5, sorry. It's kind of a ridiculous move, but I'm going to play it. I'm really trying to force the queens off here. I'm looking for the right time to play queen to a1 and force the queens off, or the right time to play bishop takes d5 here. Really looking for one of those things. So if knight b3 or knight c3, I think he runs into queen a1 if I had to guess. And then after rook to c8, I think I have bishop to c6 there. So I'm thinking I don't know what to do if I were him. Because I'm really looking to play queen a1 here. Okay, so he stops that. But now I want to play rook to c6, right? Rook c6 or rook c7. Rook c6, or do I just go queen a1, queen takes b5? Yeah, there's nothing there. So maybe I play rook to c6, right? I don't know. Queen a1 or bishop c6 and then queen a1? I don't know. I'm just going to play bishop c6. If knight d5 now I go queen a1. I think any trade of queens will probably benefit me here if I had to guess. So let's take a look here and see if I can convert this. I have a slight edge, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be winning. Queen takes e2. Queen a7. Looks pretty good for me at first glance. But maybe he just goes queen back. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have allowed queen takes e2. Queen takes e2. Queen a7. Okay, he doesn't go for it, thankfully. I was a little unsure about that. e4. Then what? What if just bishop takes d5? Bishop takes d5. Pawn takes. Nah. Queen takes with check. e4. e4. Knight c3 runs into queen a1. So e4. What else? e4, knight to b4. I can just take it. e4, knight back to f6. I mean, what if I go queen a1 here? I kind of want to take, though. I'm going to take. And then on queen takes, I go e4. Now I'm not really sure what is going on. I feel like if he goes along this diagonal, I go queen a1. I feel like this has to be the correct way to play. I feel like this is good for me. I couldn't prove it, but I think this is good for me. Maybe I shouldn't give up e4. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on here, to be honest. I probably should have gone king f3, honestly. Whatever. We're just going to go for it here. I don't know if you can do that, because then you lose this pawn. That's really unclear. I don't know. Does this lead to a win? No. Why would I do that? Do I fix this pawn with h4? If king here, I'm going to take on e6. If e5, I can take g6. I think this is a tough position for him. Okay, I'm going to go here. He's going to go king here, 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 here. That looks promising. King here, though. What if I go here right away? Rook f6. You really gonna go rook f6 here? Because I can go b6, b7. I think that looks pretty promising. I just need to not flag here. King c5, I think I'm just going to take here. And then if king takes b5, yeah, I mean, this just doesn't look good. This is going to be no good for him. That's going to be resign time. Too many pawns. 3 pawns is too many. Yeah. Too many pawns there. But that was a pretty interesting game, I'd say, overall. Let's take a look at the breakdown. So it looked like it was a pretty solid game. Pretty boring opening. Yeah, so a3 is not the typical move here. So a3 is pretty common, I would say, after b6 here. So a3 is the, I want to say it's the, not Kasparov variation. Is it the Petrosian variation, I believe, with a3? Yeah, so it's common there, but after g3, bishop b7, bishop g2, d5, a3 is a little bit strange because it's kind of mistimed, I think, because d takes c4 I was a little bit concerned about, and it's probably the best way for black to play here. I mean, it's not that clear, though, because I'm going to go queen a4 check and take, but I guess the whole point is this move useful? I still think this move is useful in the long term to play b4 maybe, but keep pieces out of b4. That's a pretty big importance, the b4 square. So knight d7, knight c3, bishop e7, castle, castle, knight g5 was an interesting move. I know this move probably isn't the best, but I thought it would lead to a very interesting position here. So if h6, I'm prepared to bring the knight here, but the main thing is I want to open up this diagonal. I'm going to make it so d takes c4 is not possible, and I also want to stop him from going knight to e4 here, which I do by unleashing this bishop. So he goes c5, I go c takes d5, knight takes d5, and then I try to play knight takes d5, thinking that this line isn't so bad. After bishop takes g5, bishop takes g5, it looks like here bishop takes d5 would have been better, but he goes for bishop takes g5, and then after bishop takes g5, queen takes g5, I simply go knight to e7 here, which the engine doesn't love. I guess it prefers f4 here, trying to kick the queen first, but I try and go knight to e7, and after queen takes e7, bishop takes b7, rook b8. I guess rook d8 was better, but I thought I was doing quite well here, and might be pushing for a slight edge, but the engine thinks it's pretty much dead equal. So after knight f6, I take on c5, queen takes c5, I just bring my rook to the center, and then after queen e5, I just go queen c2, and I have like a slight advantage here potentially, but it's like nothing major. And after take a5, I go b4, and after take knight to d5, I simply go b5 here. So I'm trying to put a little bit of a clamp on this queen side, gain a little bit of space. At some point I can sink my bishop into c6, and now I'm starting to like push for a slight advantage because there's moves like queen a7 looming, and as you see in the game, moves like queen a1 are also looming. So he goes knight f6, and I go bishop c6, which I did realize was a slight mistake. I think queen takes e2 would have been totally fine for him, but he goes knight back to d5, and I decide to play bishop takes d5, queen takes d5, e4. And then after queen to e5, I go for this queen a1 plan, which the engine agrees with. And the idea is I think I just get a pretty good rook endgame here, where my rook is really active and his rook is tied down over here. And then quickly, I think it turns south for him. After rook to c8, after a rook b7, I think it's clear that his pawns are too weak here, and it collapses really quickly. And I think that's pretty much it. It was a pretty solid game overall, and I hope to keep making videos like this. And that's all for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.